Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thijs, Technical Evangelist at Varnish Software, and I'm very excited to announce a brand new release of the Varnish Controller, which is Varnish Controller version 6. In case you need a reminder, Varnish Controller is the control plane to manage Varnish servers. It's part of the Varnish Enterprise product lineup and offers a GUI, an API, and a CLI. In general, Varnish Controller helps you manage Varnish servers, streamline VCL deployments, offer a centralized endpoint for distributed cache invalidation, and even offers advanced traffic routing capabilities that allow you to turn your Varnish setup into a full-blown private CDN. The main new feature is centralized management of TLS certificates for Varnish servers and for Varnish traffic routers. Prior to this release, you had to manage the TLS certificates of your Varnish nodes on a per-node basis and use config management tools to ensure that the certificates are in the right location and Varnish is properly configured. Now you have a centralized location to manage these certificates. You can upload new certificates that are stored in the database and assign them to individual domains, complete servers, and even traffic routers. You can even choose to load certificates that were stored on the disk of your Varnish server. The SNI capabilities of Varnish, the controller, and the routers ensures that requests for a specific domain end up in the right place. This new TLS feature isn't a standalone controller feature, it actually leverages the dynamic TLS certificate management capabilities of the latest Varnish Enterprise release. This is part of Varnish Enterprise 6.012R5 and was released last year. It's not just TLS certificates that can be centrally managed. Additionally, the new release of the controller gives you the ability to centrally manage a set of configuration parameters for both the controller agent software that runs on the Varnish servers, as well as the configuration parameters for the traffic routing instances. This can be achieved by modifying configuration parameters on individual nodes, but also through so-called config sets that are mapped to the right Varnish servers using tags. Configuration changes that are made in the controller UI or API have precedence over what was already configured on the server. You can now easily transfer Varnish instances between the various organizations, making it easier to host private Varnish servers in a multi-tenant setup. By transferring a Varnish node to another organization, the node is no longer used as a shared server that is available to all tenants. In this case, we're transferring a node that has system-wide availability to one that is only available for one specific organization, with a simple press of the button. The traffic router, which is a separate product but that is also managed within the Varnish controller, also has some new features. The first one we'll discuss is the ability to drain Varnish servers from requesting traffic routers. This is particularly useful when a node needs maintenance. Instead of abruptly interrupting the traffic flow, the draining feature will gracefully handle existing connections while ensuring new traffic ends up on other nodes. After your maintenance, traffic can be resumed by a simple click of the button. The traffic router now also supports sub-decisions for tag-based routing, allowing you to prioritize node selection when multiple nodes match a given tag. Just so you know, tag-based routing sends traffic from a specific traffic router to Varnish nodes that share the same tags, whereas the most common routing decision otherwise is to use GeoIP to find the closest node based on the presumed latitude and longitude of the client's IP address. These new sub-decisions include picking the first healthy server, picking a random server, or picking the least utilized one. And while we're on the topic of traffic routing, you can now configure custom response headers to be returned when you access the traffic router via the HTTP interface. This is particularly useful when you want to inject access control allow origin headers to prevent CORS issues, but there's also a lot of other use cases. As of Varnish Controller 6, authentication can now be entrusted to an identity provider, ensuring you can authenticate using the OpenID Connect protocol. This is basically a way to offer single sign-on with platforms like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, and many others. We're really excited to announce the new controller release, with some really compelling features allowing you to further centralize control and streamline the management of your Varnish servers, either for individual use cases or to build a private CDN. Now in this video, we barely scratched the surface and only highlighted a couple of features. If you want a complete list of all the changes, I suggest you take a look at the release notes on our documentation site. If you're an existing Varnish Enterprise client and you want to use the new version of the Varnish controller, I suggest you reach out to your account manager, who will be more than willing to assist you with the upgrade. If you're not a client yet and you want to know more, I encourage you to go to the product page on our website. It's at www.varnish-software.com/products/varnish-controller. The product page contains all the information you need and gives you access to our online demo environment in case you want to try it out yourself. If you want to reach out to us afterwards, the easiest way of getting in touch is via the integrated chat module on the website. And that's it for Varnish Controller 6. We couldn't be more excited. Thank you for checking it out. See you next time.